Hello my dear champions, welcome to Diksha Karnataka YouTube channel. Now when I last made a strategy video on if you can still score 70 out of 70, many of you have commented, sir, we are losing marks on MCQs and how can we tackle those? So I have decided to give you a quick revision strategy on how can you handle the MCQs so that you don't lose marks on MCQs. So I will give you a detailed strategy. So don't go anywhere, watch till the end, because this is going to be a game changer for all of you, those who are losing marks in MCQ. And at the end I will also give you suggestions and tips for your second PUC physics preparation. So basically this is focused on physics. If you are losing marks on other subjects, you can apply, some of the rules are common, you can apply the rules for those subjects, mathematics, and not so much for mathematics but for chemistry and biology and some other subjects also. You can apply the same concept that I am going to teach you today. So it will be mostly general with some physics specific inputs as well. So let's start. So first we have to first rule that we have to remember is that do not rush. You have 3 hours of examination, and during that 3 hours of examination you have to answer 15 MCQs and some other questions as well. But if you think wisely, you can easily answer 15 MCQs plus 5 fill in the blanks within 30 minutes if you are not rushing, if you are clear on your head. And remember that you have to keep those 30 minutes fixed for MCQs and fill in the blanks. I have seen students, they are answering the entire paper and last 5 minutes they are rushing. Okay, my MCQs is left, I have to answer the MCQs. Are you have the time? So if instead of wasting time on some other questions, you should invest at least 30 good minutes in your MCQs. Either if you are someone who like to answer the MCQs first, very good, no problem in there. If you are someone who wish to keep the MCQs for later half, that is also fine. Some of you do mixed way, some of you answer the MCQs whatever you know first, then you come back, revisit the remaining MCQs later on, that is also fine. But remember, doing the MCQs at one go actually helps you to maintain the time. That's why I mentioned that either you do in the beginning or you do in the middle phase, that is better. Okay, before going into the numerical you should visit the MCQs, then you should go on to the numericals, right? Now, so first rule is don't rush, do not hurry with your MCQs, take a time. So where should you take the time? Most of you are losing marks in MCQ because you are not reading the complete question. Many of you just read the first line, you decide, okay, this may be a difficult MCQ, I am not able to answer it. Or some of you read the first line, then read the some of the options and you think this is the correct option and you answer it. Okay, so do not make this mistake. You have to read the complete question. Why? I will also explain that. Secondly, you assume the answer. Okay, you think that if this is the question, this must be the answer without even thinking properly. Some words, for example, some question is given and you assume that electric field is always proportional to 1 upon r square. So you mark the answer, but you do not consider whether it's a dipole, whether it's a infinitely long charge wire, or it's a charge surface. So based on different conditions, different electric field is possible. So make sure you read the question, understand the question, then you try to guess the answer if you don't know it. I will give you some ideas on how to guess the answer as well. Okay, so those who are thinking that, sir, I don't know the answer, then how will be able to answer, that also I will explain. Secondly, the last important point is that many of you are, when reading the question, ignore the terms like not, which of the following is not correct, which of the following is incorrect, which of the following is not according to the something, some rule is given which is not correct according to Gauss's law or something like that. Okay, so not, incorrect, false, only. So these are the terms, very very important, and in my MCQs I like to give them in bold letter, but in your final exam they will be given in normal letter. So there is a high chance that you will miss them. So if you see such words, don't forget to underline them so that you don't make the mistake. Okay, I have to find the incorrect one, not the correct one, because if the question asks you which of the following is incorrect, that means there are 3 options which are correct, only one is incorrect. So there is a high chance you ignore that incorrect term and you read the first option, you think, okay, this is a correct statement, you mark option A for that question, which is actually wrong process. You have to read, understand whether it's one of them is correct, which one of them is false, which one of them is incorrect. These kind of questions are tricky and students do make mistakes in this kind of questions. Now let's move on to the next part. Read the question like a detective. Okay, we all like detective movies, detective stories, so read the question like a detective. Try to understand the following. What is the given information, given data, given information, whatever is given in that question, what is asked? Okay, that is the major thing. If you can identify what is asked in the question, then you should be able to answer that question as well. Now in some questions units are important, in some questions units are not, but if units are there in the question, make sure you are choosing the correct unit as well. Now condition words, as I mentioned, if not incorrect, only those are very important. So conditions words you also have to understand. Okay, similarly in the reasoning based question, condition words are both statements are true, statement 2 is correct explanation of statement 1. So that type of questions are also comes under condition words. So reason and assertion and reason based question, that can also be tricky if you are not sure. Okay, so make sure you understand that part. Now what to do if I don't know the answer? So here is a skeleton. So will you be a skeleton if you don't know the answer? Will you leave the question in the exam? So for that I am going to give you a very neat little tricks under your sleeves. So first is elimination method. Okay, the major part is elimination method. What is the elimination method? You are reading a question. You are reading a question and you realize that, you understand that this is the question and these are not possible answer. This cannot be possible answer for this. Okay, so if you don't know the answer, if you don't you have not studied the question at all, or you have no idea about the question, read the options carefully. Okay, read the options carefully. Once the options are you are sure about the options, make sure that the options which are mostly incorrect, mark them. There may be multiple number of reasons for making this incorrect. Okay, there can be wrong units, there can be wrong completely, no such making sense. If there is an option called none of the above, all of the above, that type of questions, generally none of the above is a wrong option. Okay, none of these, none of the above, generally they are wrong option. So apart from that, whatever is left, so whatever elimination is there, you try to eliminate as much as possible. If you can eliminate 2 of the options, if you don't know the answer, try to read the question and you realize these 2 should not be possibly the correct answer, then you have a 50-50 chance, right? So that is a way of guessing, scientific way of guessing. Okay, so if you eliminate 2 of the options, then remaining 2 options, one of them will be correct, one of them will be wrong. Generally I am giving a suggestion that generally the correct answer has a very twin brother of it. Okay, just a slight change in it. So 2 statements which looks almost same. Okay, 2 statements which looks almost same, one of them should be correct. One of them should be correct, other 2 completely different statements are generally incorrect. That is a suggestion. Okay, may not be true always, but then generally there is a suggestion that 2 similar looking statements, one of them should be correct, other ones are generally incorrect. That is general statement, but you have to adjust to that based on the question. Okay, so this is one trick, and once you have eliminated the 2 options, okay, you have a 50% chance. Now with this 50% chance also, what you have to do, you have to read those 2 options and the question again, and then logically use your brain. God has given you a beautiful powerful computer in your here. Okay, and use that. Okay, so use that computer, think logically and make sure that, okay, if this is the question, this possibly cannot be the true, this could be the possible answer. So out of those 2 options you have to take one guess, but when taking the guess, make sure you are using your logical reasoning behind it. Okay, you should be clear in your head, okay, why I am choosing this, because this could be the possible answer, not because someone else has told you that question number 10 option A is correct. Okay, I am telling you that. So there are a lot of those kind of students, those are overconfident, they don't know anything, but they are super overconfident while writing the wrong answers. Okay, so don't make those mistakes. Make sure you have understood it. You are not copying it from someone else because they have said confidently, because their confidence can be obviously, you know what I am trying to talk about, but you should make sure that your answer is basically logically proved by yourself only. Right, now let's move on to the next part, that we have launched KCET 30. So if you are someone who is struggling with your board exam, and now we are thinking how to study or how to prepare for my KCET exam in future, worry not. Diksha is presenting you with a 30-day KCET plan, and here you will get 30 days live online crash course along with KCET previous year question paper with solution, complete 10 years solutions, and complete syllabus revision of PU1 as well as PU2, chapter wise KCET PYQs in a test format. So whatever PYQs you are getting in a solution, you can test yourself that whether the answers whether I am able to answer them correctly or not. 10 full length KCET mock tests is also included in this batch, and the batch starts from 21st of March 2026. Okay, the class timings are from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. You can adjust the timing based on your own availability of the time, but this is the perfect time for everyone. So you should study during this time. You can extend 1 hour or 2 hours, because obviously we have given you a sufficient time in the end of the day to self-study. Okay, and the price is only 2499. It is a discounted price. Offer is available only till 25th of February. After that the price may go up, so don't wait, purchase this course today. Next, now there are some cases you might see some numerical MCQs. Okay, numerical MCQs are common in these days. 1 to 2 MCQs, maximum 2 MCQs, minimum 1 MCQ will be a numerical MCQ. There also you might face some difficulty, but if you follow the rules you will be not struggling in numerical MCQs as well. Okay, now in numerical MCQ it will be a very simple formula based MCQ. Last year there was a question, half CV square needs to be added. I think 2024 there was a MCQ. Okay, half CV square, what is the energy stored in a capacitor? Well, basically half CV square, C is given, V is given, put those values, calculate it. Okay, so those kind of simple calculation based MCQs will be given. So identify the formula given required to solve that. Put the values. Now while putting the values you have to make sure you are putting in correct unit, because capacitance, for example I am giving you half CV square, so capacitance is given in microfarad. Okay, voltage is given in V. So you have to convert microfarad into farad by multiplying into the power of -6. So unit conversion is important. Okay, convert the units properly, substitute the values, solve neatly, and match the closest option. Okay, so sometimes you may not get the exact matching, but if you see properly you will get the correct answer. Okay, now one important tip is that do not calculate in head if it involves a decimal number. So if you are allowed to use simple calculators in the PUC exam, so use it. If it is in the question, if there is a decimal number involves 0.2, 0.5, 0.7, do not calculate it in your head. Okay, MCQs in numerical questions, numerical MCQs are easy. Only formula you need to know. You need to convert the units properly and put the values, and use the calculator if it is slightly tricky. If it is not that difficult, I request you to use your brain to calculate. If it is decimal number involved in the question, use the calculator. Okay, clear? Because sometimes what happens is that calculators, we forget to multiply, divide, and double checking is very, very important. When you are solving numerical MCQs, make sure you double check the calculation 2 times or 3 times. Okay, so that is very, very important. Now many options are traps. You have to identify that, you have to avoid those traps. Same number, so suppose your answer is 0.1, suppose, but there will be a 0.1, another option 0.01. Okay, so 0.01, 1.0 or 10, this kind of very closely matching numbers will be given. Okay, sometimes same number but different units will be given. For example, suppose your answer is 0.1 joules. They have given 0.1 farad. So you have to identify 0.1 farad cannot be the answer, 0.1 joule has to be the answer. Okay, there is a possibility in there. Correct value but wrong power of 10. Suppose you calculated the answer, correct answer say 1 into 10 to the power of 3, but in the question they have given 1 into 10 to the power of 4 or 10 to the power of 1 into 10 to the power of minus 3. Somehow you ignored this minus 3, or you did not see that minus and you answered it completely wrong. So that is also some will be some trouble for you. So avoid those. Make sure you are double checking the answer 2 times before writing it down in the answer sheet. Okay, now just a revision strategy now. So I hope that your MCQ related doubts, the mistakes that you are making are clear, and if you are making those mistakes, don't forget to mention that comment that I will rectify those mistakes. I will rectify those mistakes. Okay, mention in the chat box below, I will rectify those mistakes. That's how your journey towards 70 out of 70 starts. Okay, now I am going to give you a few revision strategy, that what are all the chapters that you have to study first. Okay, these chapters you cannot skip. They are high scoring, low risk chapter: electric charges and fields, electrostatic potential and capacitance, current electricity, moving charges and magnetism, ray optics and optical instrument. These chapters are super important. You cannot skip any one of these chapters. If you study those chapters, your derivations, your most of the numericals will be also covered. But for numericals I have some suggestions as well. For numericals, electric charges and field must. Electrostatic potential and capacitance also must. These 2 chapters generally MCQs are easy. So sorry, not MCQs, what I'm saying, numerical questions are generally easy from this chapter. So if you practice these 2 chapters, 1 numerical and 1 derivations are guaranteed. Okay, so these 2 chapters, that's why I put focus on this. All the derivation from these 2 chapters, all the numericals from these 2 chapters has to be practiced must. Second, alternating current, very typical questions. If you practice few selected questions from this chapter, you will be able to answer 1 question from this chapter. So you should not ignore alternating current. So if you just want to study, okay sir, I do not want too much practice for numericals because I am weak in numericals, I just tell me 2-3 chapters I want to study, then these 3 chapters should be your priority. Okay, numericals from these 2 chapters are easy, and alternating current, even though process is little lengthy, but problems are very typical. If you know few formulas, if you know how to tackle them, these questions from alternating current, which comes under HOTS actually, but you should be able to answer them easily. Okay, because it is very predictable. The question pattern, the formulas are very predictable. So alternating current, these 3 chapters should be your go-to for numericals, and those who want to have a backup, for them ray optics and current electricity. Now why I don't recommend current electricity for everyone else, even though the questions sometimes can be answerable, but ray optics, if it is a circuit theory, circuit based questions, many of you will make mistakes while doing KCL and KVL. Mainly KCL you will make mistakes, and when doing KVL also you will do the mistakes of plus and minus, and that's how you will lose marks. So current electricity, if you are practicing circuit theory based questions, if you are confident in that, then current electricity you should practice. Ray optics, but this year ray optics or wave optics, one of them will be numerical question, but my guess is 90% of chance is that the numerical question will be from ray optics, not from wave optics. So that is my assumption, my understanding from the model paper and blueprint given by the board. So what I am guessing, that my guess 90% I am sure that ray optics will be given as a question. So if you want to practice 4 chapters, these 4 chapters, if you are very confident with circuit theory based questions, then current electricity. Okay, and those who are thinking that sir, I know few of the current electricity problems, but still I'm not sure about how to solve unbalanced Wheatstone bridge, etc., then you should check one of my video I have done in a live class, circuit theory KCL KVL. That video was done in live lecture 2 months or 3 months back. You should check in our channel circuit theory, search for circuit theory, and that one single video will solve all the doubts related to circuit theory based questions, those who are just want to revise some of the concepts. If you have not solved circuit theory based question, you should skip current, electricity for numericals, okay, because that is important. There will be maybe some cases you might find the question which is simple formula based. If it's a simple formula based, the formulas of derivations of conductivity, resistivity, that you already practiced, you should you are doing the derivations for them as well. So if you know that those formula based questions are coming, you can solve them anyway. Otherwise, circuit theory based questions you should skip. Are theory and formula based questions you should practice if you get time. Otherwise, circuit theory based questions you should not go ahead if you are starting right now. So these are the important points that I wanted to share with you. The how to tackle the MCQs, what chapters you should not skip, and from where you should prepare the numericals from. So all the major 3 doubts that you had that are basically disturbing you from getting 70 out of 70. So I have discussed everything in this short lecture. So I will see you in a future lecture, and also we have a live to discuss a lot of more questions for your PU board. Don't forget to join me on the live lecture. Till then, bye.